Oh, now that's an intro. All right, let's calm down and let's get into the video. All right, there's no easy way to say this, so I'm just going to come out with it now. Noni Madueke is a snake. I'm still trying to process the news, the sheer audacity of it all. The level of betrayal we are seeing unfold. He's stabbed us in the back. The club that gave him a platform to join Arsenal of all clubs. And while that bombshell was sinking in, the whispers we've all been waiting for are getting louder. The club is reportedly open to offers for Nicholas Jackson, which could, and I mean could, pave the way for a player like Rodrigo to come in. We need to break down the treachery of Madueke. We need to talk about the potential departure of Jackson. We need to dream about who could come in, and then we need to get serious. We have to do a full tactical preview for the massive final against PSG on Sunday. I'll give you my predicted lineup, my final score prediction. This is going to be a big one. It's absolutely mental right now. The transfer world is literally spinning and our club is making moves. And in the middle of all this, we have what could be the biggest game of our season since the Champions League in 21. And it's against PSG, a team of superstars managed by Luis Enrique. So we need to discuss the three players that will shock Chelsea. So we definitely have a monumental amount of stuff to get through. Before we get into it, make sure you like and subscribe, especially if you're new around here. 95% of you watching my videos are not subscribed, so please just hit that little subscribe button. Let's get into all the transfers. Let's start with the headline that feels like a punch to the gut. Noni Madueke is an Arsenal player now. The deal has been reportedly agreed between the clubs, a fee of around £50 to £52 million, and personal terms are sorted for a 5-year contract. Now, on a business level, you can almost see the logic. Chelsea needs to balance the books, and we all know the pressure of PSR, and selling a player who wasn't a guaranteed starter for over 50 million seems like a smart move. But we are not accountants, we are not business analysts, we are fans, and from a fan's perspective, it's just disgusting. This isn't just any player leaving, he's going to Arsenal, a direct London rival, a team we're meant to despise. It's a move that leaves us a sour taste. We've seen players leave before. It's a part of football, but there are lines you just don't cross. Joining a bitter rival was one of them, and for that, the snake label, as harsh as it sounds, feels right in the heat of the moment for a Chelsea fan. It's banter, sure, but it comes from a real place of frustration. It's even worse, we remember, Madueke is a former Tottenham Academy kid, so he's already turned his back on one North London club, and now he's running into the arms of our biggest enemy, or their biggest enemy. It just shows a total lack of loyalty, a lack of feel for what it means to wear the Chelsea badge. But let's take the emotion out of it for a second and ask the cold question. Is he any good? Will we actually miss him on the pitch? You know, if we are being honest with ourselves, probably not. You know, his first time at Chelsea was a story of inconsistency. Flashes of brilliance, yes. Moments where you thought, oh, this guy has something, but they were too rare. And the stats tell that story. In 92 appearances for the club, he managed 29 goal contributions. That's not a terrible return, but it's not the output of a locked-on starter for a club with our ambitions. He was a bit of a spark plug off the bench, you know, someone to cause a bit of chaos for the last 20 minutes. But when given a run of games to make like the position his own, I don't think he could do it. Arsenal are reportedly signing him to be the cover for Bukayo Saka, if not a left winger. You know, he's not walking into their first team. So are they massively strengthening their starting 11? No. They're adding depth. We are selling a squad player to a rival for a very good fee that helps us with PSR. So when the dust settles, this is probably a move that suits all parties from a football and financial standpoint. But football isn't just about spreadsheets. It's about passion, pride and loyalty. And on that front, Noni Madueke has failed the test spectacularly. It feels wrong seeing one of our own cross that divide. But if his departure and the cash brings it in helps make us, you know, the next part of this conversation a reality, then maybe, just maybe, it's a necessary evil that has to happen. Speaking of players leaving, let's move on to the rumours that I know will bring a smile to many of your faces. It appears the club might finally be ready to cut its losses with Nicholas Jackson. And the word is that Chelsea are open to selling him. And there seems to be interest from clubs in Europe. And to that, I say, let's just see what happens. And look, I never want to hammer a player in a blue shirt. I will always back them on the pitch. But you have to be realistic. Nicholas Jackson is not the long-term answer for Chelsea. He wasn't that answer last season, and he certainly isn't the answer now. His form has fallen off a cliff. It's not just the lack of goals either, it's the all-round play, the crucial chances missed in big moments, and on top of that, his discipline has become a real problem, and it's the mark of a player whose confidence is gone and a player who can become a serious liability. The club reportedly values him around 50 million euros. And if we can get that, I think that's good business, if I'm being honest, because if we put him up for 80, 90, like Ekatike, it's just not going to happen. 50 million will help rebuild the squad that Enzo Maresca is trying to build. And there have been some mixed signals. A few reports suggest Maresca might want to keep him as a different type of striker on the bench. Let's be real, he's not going to be our first choice. And with the quality we have in attack now, he's fallen way down that pecking order. Even Alan Shearer even went on record in saying that he predicts Chelsea will cash in and sell him immediately after the Club World Cup. And you have to think he's probably got a point. Sometimes letting a player go is the best way to move forward. We could remove a player who, despite his hard work, just wasn't clinical enough. We could recoup a significant fee for him. And we clear the path for the players who are the future of this attack. It feels like a no-brainer for me. We'd be moving on from the players who aren't quite at that level. And we are looking to build a team of killers. And that brings us to the most exciting part of this whole transfer news. With Madueke's potential 52 million fee in the bank and Jackson's potential 50 million fee that could happen, a huge space opens up in our squad and on our wage bill. A space for a genuine world-class attacker, and the name that keeps getting whispered, the name that gives you those goosebumps, is Rodrigo. Now, let's be clear, the links aren't concrete yet. Research suggests Arsenal were sniffing around, but there's no solid confirmation that Chelsea are in deep talks. But this is the time to dream. This is what the transfer window is all about, and the thought of Rodrigo in a Chelsea shirt is something we have to talk about. And it's just been released that Real Madrid are happy to let him leave. So if there's a time to ask questions, it is now. If not, after the final of the Club World Cup. Just imagine it for a second, right? Rodrigo goes, a player who has done it on the biggest stage. Multiple Champions League winner, a player who scores in semi-finals and finals. He is everything we have been crying out for. He has a level of technical security, football IQ and clinical finishing that would take our front line to another place. We have phenomenal talent in players like Cole Palmer, Pedro Neto, João Pedro, Jamie Gittins. But Rodrigo is a different breed. He's a proven winner at the highest level. He has that big game mentality you can't coach. You either have it or you don't. Think about the versatility. He can play on the right wing, cutting in. He can play on the left. He can play as a number 10. He can even play as a false 9. That kind of movement is exactly what Maresca wants from his attackers. Imagine a front three of Palmer, João Pedro, Rodrigo, and the rotation of Jamie Gittins, Pedro Neto. The interchange, the unpredictability, it would be a nightmare for defenders. They could literally just move around anywhere. Of course, a player like him would cost a fortune. We'd be talking north of 100 million, easily. But that's what the money from Madueke and Jackson sales should be for. It's about trading two squad players for one genuinely world-class, game-changing superstar. That is how you build a team capable of challenging for the biggest trophies. It's an ambitious move, a statement signing. The fact that a rival like Arsenal might also be interested just adds to the urgency. We have to be aggressive, and we have to show the world that Chelsea are still in that business of signing the very best. This is the kind of signing that makes fans believe again. It's literally the hope we need. All this talk of transfers is exciting, but it means nothing if we don't get the job done in the big games. We can dream about Rodrigo all we want, but the reality is the Club World Cup is on the horizon. A final against Paris Saint-Germain, a monumental task, but a monumental opportunity. A chance to win a world title and make a statement to the rest of Europe that this Chelsea project under Enzo Maresca has brought the old Chelsea we love and miss back to life. So, how do we do it? How would we be a team dripping with talent, managed by Luis Enrique? Let's get into the tactics. First, let's look at PSG. We know how Luis Enrique team plays. It'll be a 4-3-3, possession-based, with an aggressive high press to win the ball back instantly. You'll see the likes of Hakimi and Nuno Mendes bomb forward. Their wingers will cut inside and their midfielders will constantly rotate to pull you out of shape. Your Fabian Ruiz or your Vitinha. It's a system designed to suffocate you in your own half. But every system has a weakness, and that high press can be exploited. Aston Villa exploited it, and if we are brave on the ball, if our midfield can break that first line of pressure, there will be oceans of space behind for our attackers. Their high fullbacks mean the channels are there to be hit on the counter. We have to be sharp, we have to be clinical, and ready to punish them in transition. This game would be decided by small key battles, right? And they have serious weapons. So let's start with the first player, Ousmane Dembele, on that right wing. The man is a defender's nightmare at the moment. He's electric, unpredictable, and he's in incredible form. Marc Cucurella would have to be, or just have the game of his life. He can't dive in. He has to stay on his feet, show him wide, and get the support from his centre-back and midfielder. We literally have to double team him. And I mean that in every sense of the world. In their midfield, you have Vitinha. This guy makes them tick at the moment. His real value is his control of the game, his incredible pass accuracy, and his ability to dictate the tempo. The job for Moises Caicedo and Romeo Lavia would be simple. Do not let Vitinha play. Get tight, be aggressive, and cut off his passing lanes. If we let him get his head up and spray passes, they will literally pick us apart. And on the other wing, they have Kvaratskhelia. What a talent he is, by the way. He is so direct, so aggressive. He loves to get the ball, drive at his man. He makes something happen. You know, this sets up a heavyweight battle of the match. Kvaratskhelia against our captain. This is what you pay to see. Best on best. Reece would have to be at his absolute peak, using his strength and intelligence to keep him quiet. If Reece wins that duel, it goes a long way to us hopefully winning that match. How do we counter this? It starts with our defence shape, right? The back four, James, Tosin, Colwill, Cucurella, needs to be impact and discipline. In midfield, I'm going with Lavia and Caicedo as a double pivot. Their energy and ball winning will be vital. You know, and ahead of them, Enzo Fernandez in his more advanced role. He has the vision to break PSG's press with one pass. And obviously, if Lavia is not back, then I would put Andre Santos in there. He's done it in League One and he's played against PSG plenty of times. And that leads me to our attack. This is where I think we can really hurt them. On the wings, it has to be Cole Palmer on the right and João Pedro on the left. Palmer's creativity is a given, and moving Pedro wide allows us to utilise his 1v1 ability and his intelligent movement from the flank. And through the middle, I am starting Liam Delap. He gives us a physical presence, a proper number 9 to occupy defenders and act as a focal point. He's the powerful forward we need to hold up on the ball and bring Palmer and Pedro into the game. And a final would be the perfect stage for this. So, a quick predicted lineup is Sanchez in goal, Reece, Tosin, Colwill, Cucurella, a midfield three of Lavia or Andre Santos and Caicedo with Fernandez ahead of them, and a front three of Cole Palmer on the right, João Pedro on the left, and Liam Delap leading the line. This is going to be an incredibly tough game. A final against a team like PSG is never going to be easy. They have individuals who can create a goal from literally nothing. I fully expect them to score, and we have to suffer at times and defend for our lives. But I have a really good feeling about this. I look at our team, I see our energy, our hunger, and I see a tactical plan that can cause them real problems. And I think our attack, with the creativity and flair of João Pedro and Palmer, combined with the power of Delap, it would be too much for the PSG backline to handle. And I believe our midfield has the legs and the discipline to win that battle. It's going to be nervy. It's going to be end-to-end, a proper cup final, hopefully. There will be goals, there will be drama, but at the end of it all, I am backing the boys in blue to get it done. But who in blue? My official score prediction is a 3-2 victory for Chelsea. You know, a proper nail-biting, heart-stopping, glorious victory that brings the Club World Cup trophy back to Stamford Bridge where it belongs. But they could also be 6-0 to PSG if they are at their best and we absolutely fucking bottle it. So let's hope we don't bottle it, all right? Oh, what a roller coaster. You know, from the portrayal of Madueke to the hope of Rodrigo and the massive final that lies ahead. It's a huge time to be a Chelsea fan. But I want to know what you guys think. What do you make of the Madueke news? Is he a snake? Or is it just good business? Are you happy to see the club potentially moving on from Nicholas Jackson? And who would be your dream signing? Get in the comments and let me know. And of course, the big one. Give me your score predictions for that potential final against PSG. Let's see who gets it right. Drop your predictions, your first goal scorers, anything you want to put down, let me know. If you enjoyed the video and you're hyped for what's to come, do me a massive favour, drop a like. It really helps the channel grow. And if you're new around here and you love everything that's Chelsea, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of the post-match reaction, which will hopefully be a bloody happy one. Thanks for tuning in. Come on, you Blues. Let's bring that trophy home, and I'll see you after the final whistle. Peace.